as we mentioned earlier, the United Nations is calling on the Taliban to, quote, swiftly reverse its new restrictions on women in Afghanistan. So we're back with Mariam Atash, member of the U.S. Afghan Women's Council. Mariam, good to see you again. So the Taliban imposed similar restrictions on Afghan women and girls when they ruled from 1996 to 2001. So how are these restrictions that we're seeing now different?
I wanted to give a little bit of context that the Taliban in 1996 came in without any support of the United States. And now the United States was negotiating with them for 3 years without any kind of conditions on how they would handle women's rights. The restrictions we're seeing now are similar with respect to restricting women's rights to education and work and limiting their ability to move without having a male guardian next to them. But now we're seeing some other strange things. For example, instead of saying that they are required to wear a burqa, that they need to wear a face mask. And incremental oppression.
So this seems like the Taliban is kind of going against its word to respect women despite a history that says otherwise. Why is that?
Well, the Taliban came in initially, again, with U.S. support starting from 3 years ago. There were not many women included in those negotiations. They do not represent the Afghan nation. They have the support of the Pakistani ISI, which is their secret service agency. I mean, where were they operating from since 9/11? After they came in this power vacuum, initially issues with respect to women's rights was not something that they addressed. They've been doing it incrementally after making sure that they can get recognized by foreign governments. And they've gotten recognition of Pakistan, Qatar, and have been recognized as a de facto government. And as the time has progressed, their restrictions on women have gotten worse, and they have not allowed girls past the age of 6th grade to attend school under the guise that they need to figure out the dress code, which is ridiculous. Afghan girls were wearing appropriate clothing to school, and this is causing huge problems with Afghan women and girls and their ability to take part in society. They're being just basically banned from being part of public life. And this is a example of what can happen when we don't pay attention through our U.S. foreign policy to women's rights. It was used as one of the reasons why U.S. troops went to Afghanistan, and now it's being totally ignored. So if these rules aren't repealed, I mean, what options do Afghan women and girls have moving forward? They are living in first a horrendous situation. Also, to give some context, the economy has basically collapsed. The majority of the people are facing starvation. So the first thing that women need is access to food. The Afghan family needs access to food. And the U.S. has a big role in that because they still hold a lot of the money of the Afghan central bank reserves. And women need that assistance first, and then they need the international community to pay attention to these issues as part of the ongoing negotiations with the Taliban. Unfortunately, Afghan women cannot do this on their own. They're very brave. They're very resilient. A lot of the Afghan women were evacuated, a lot of the leaders by other countries, which helps those few women get out of a bad security situation, but prevents to be women who can raise their voice. I mean, there have been women who have protested, and some of them have disappeared. Some of them have been put in prison. So they are doing what they can, but they need international assistance to keep a focus on this issue. All right, Mariam Atash, member of the U.S. Afghan Women's Council. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.